Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. We hope
Hello.
everyone's had a great week.
Hey, Michael, I need a nap too.
Yes, naps definitely needed all around because I was at work at 4 a.m. this morning and I worked the same schedule yesterday. So, yeah, I wish I could
Bet-
nap.
Better you than me, I'll tell you.
We are just waiting on Ellie. So she is backstage here. I believe she just stepped away. So we're going to kind of keep tabs on her and have her come in. That way you all can meet her and any questions that you have for her. Definitely, I'm sure she wouldn't mind answering them. But welcome, everybody. Michael's Adventures. Welcome, welcome.
Yes, he has been helping me try to get some watch hours. So I appreciate that.
Oh, that's amazing. We absolutely love and appreciate that support. Most definitely. We have Lynn here. Happy final Friday of 2023. Cindy, Sana, and all. I cannot believe we are closing out 2023. Has it gone back by quick for you, Cindy?
Oh, yes.
So I'm not alone in that
Considering.
feeling. How does everyone feel about that? Does everyone feel like this end of December kind of just snuck up on you? And here we have Sana. Yes.
I will
I
tell
am
you,
Sana. Nice to meet you.
I will tell you, since we've been sick, this month has drug on.
Oh, I'm
From
sure. Yes.
Thanksgiving till now, it has been
Hmm.
horrible. But before that, it just kind of flew. And then
Yeah.
right after Thanksgiving, as you know, with my husband and I both getting sick, it was terrible.
I think that's the really way it is. Like, especially with your saying when you're not feeling well, it's almost like, especially when it hangs on the way it has
Mhm.
with you, it seems like things go kind of like at a standstill and drag. I definitely can hear you on that one.
Yeah, sauna.
Donna,
Eh,
welcome, welcome.
Yes.
Let me see. We have Susie here. Welcome, welcome, Susie.
Hi, Susie.
We
Excuse
got
me while
Jason in
I.
the house. Welcome, Jason. There she is.
Hi everyone.
Hey,
I'm so
Welcome.
sorry.
No, it's
Thank you.
okay.
Oh my goodness. I don't know if I ate something bad or something, but I was running. I was running to the toilet.
Oh,
So,
no
but I'm feeling
worries.
much better now, and I'm so glad to be with you ladies. Just getting my light on. I do apologize about that. I like to be prompt on time so we can.
that's
No
okay.
worries. We are very much go with the flow when it comes to Cindy and I. This is real life.
Hmm.
So it is what
I
it
say
is.
there's times you'll hear the dog barking, or my
Right.
husband will come in, or whatever. Speaking of husbands, I was watching your video
Oh yeah,
with
the one I just
your
Yeah.
posted.
husband. Yes, and I left a comment because I wish my son would listen to it. But yeah, check the comment because it's just
I
that was
did. I
good.
did read. I read your comment, and
That was
it
incredible.
I read it to my husband also, and
Mhm.
it broke our hearts, honestly. And
Mm,
I think that everybody in their health journey, they have to go at their own pace, and they
Mhm.
have
exactly.
to, they're going to be open to the information when they are. I do hope and pray that he does come around to,
Yeah,
adopting keto or carnivore or something.
but yeah, if you guys don't follow Ellie, I'm gonna put her link in the chat, whatever it's called. Go follow her. She just interviewed her husband, and it was fantastic. That was
Oh,
really great.
Yes, it was really, really nice. And I put a comment on there too, asking for advice because our household, like as a whole, like I had to switch to carnivore because that, is the transition I had to make personally for myself.
Mhm.
January of this year. So I'm going to basically be 1 year carnivore coming the first of this coming year. But previous to that, I was 4 years keto. My family is going to be hitting 5 years keto, January 5th of next year. But to
It's
try to
amazing.
get my husband, it's kind of like Cindy's husband, Brian. He doesn't mind if he happens to be like in the background, like as I record something, or like if he's talking to our boys, if he's kind of like overheard in the background, but actually to come on camera,
Oh, I'm
I
gonna
don't know
break my
what it
husband
is.
down. Yeah, I'm gonna break him down. We already have a question for Ellie.
Yes, we already have a question here. So we have some coming in now. So I'm going to get to this question and then we can kind of start things off with you
Absolutely.
introducing yourself to people that probably don't know you as of yet and share a little bit about your journey. But so far we have Susie. Welcome, Susie. Ellie, how did you get started on your way of eating?
Oh my goodness. So though I'd say that it started at the worst of my health,
Mm,
because the worst of my health was the heaviest I was 240 pounds. I'm I'm 5'7", 5'8", but I was 240. And my mental health was at an all-time low. I was having panic attacks constantly. Um, I couldn't go to school. I couldn't work. I was afraid of everything. Like my panic attacks, it's not just like heavy breathing and being nervous. It's like it was like debilitating, being on the floor in a fetal position,
mm,
and
right.
you know, there was no hope for anything in my life. I felt like I couldn't live. And so there were many years where I dropped out of college. I stopped working, even though like um oh, hi Susan. Thank you so much. Um it's it started there, and I was, my all of my early adulthood life, I was yo-yo dieter. I thought if I eat less and I move more, I can lose weight, and I should listen to all of the advice, all of the experts that are out there.
Right.
But it never worked because at the end of the day, I was an emotional eater, and I was addicted to high starch foods like pasta and rice, and the emotional ties in food with like cookies and desserts and stuff like that. And so my how I found this way of eating started with keto, like you ladies. I was on YouTube because that's all I did with my life. I lived in that bed behind me in a different home, but in that bed, it's come with me. We've been through a lot together. And I found this video of a woman who had said she lost like 90 pounds in like 6 months or something like that. I was like, what?
Mm,
You can do that? And she was talking about the ketogenic way of eating, and she was saying burgers and egg, bigger burger patties and eggs and bacon. And I'm like, whoa, what are you talking about? Like, that's not how you lose weight. But I was so desperate. And the
mm-hmm.
way she was explaining the science of it all, I was like, yes, I want to, let's try it. It was like I felt like it was like God shining down the light on me, or if you're not religious, the universe, or it was like one of those like cosmic
Right.
moments.
Exactly. The aha moment.
And the aha moment, and I just dove into it, and I started, and that was back in 2019. And I was successful with it for 6 months, and in those 6 months I lost 53 pounds. My
Amazing.
panic attacks were gone, my skin cleared up. I had no more issues with chronic constipation, only going once or twice a month.
Mm,
um my I was able to become pregnant because my periods started becoming regular, and everything was amazing. And I was about to, and I felt this, I had so much energy and I was doing fantastic. And I become pregnant with my husband. We had tried, and we were so blessed to have our daughter. Um, and then I go to the doctor, and she tells me, "You're going to harm your baby if you're eating this way. You're
oh
eating
gosh.
keto. Keto is dangerous," she told me.
Oh,
I know, and it's like, so what
wow.
do? You quit. You stop because your children are everything, right? And
Mm,
I know you guys are mothers, and it's like that is where it stopped. And so but the knowledge was still there. And so I had the knowledge of that I should stay away from sugar. If I'm going to eat carbs, it should be less, like, so I knew those things, but it slowly kept creeping back into my life, more and more of the bigger
Right.
plates of food and overeating and um eating when I'm sad, eating when I'm
Mm.
angry, happy, all of the emotions, all the different colors that a person can be. And so years went by. I had my son, another beautiful, healthy pregnancy. And then I learned about the carnivore diet from Dr. Jordan Peterson. I love his books, and I found him
Mm.
first from with his like psychology and stuff like that, and I loved his content. And I started following him, and I was just like, keto worked for me. I'm not pregnant anymore. I'll do it for myself because, I'm
Right.
still listening to that advice that the doctors had
Mhm.
given me. I have a completely different opinion now. And so I started at 200 pounds. So I didn't go quite back up to my highest weight, but I was like 190 when at the beginning. So I did pretty good with my weight, I'd say, overall. But 200 pounds, and now today I am 170, and all of the symptoms that had been alleviated with keto
Mm.
are here, and they're here with like so much more strength. I have so much more energy. I feel so like invigorated, and I'm positive. Like the mental health
Mhm.
is like up and beyond. Like keto was pretty good. Like
Yes.
don't get me wrong. I'm not downplaying it, but it's like this another level of like, oh, I can wake up like several times in the night for our kids.
Mhm.
We did mention that in the video with my husband, if anyone's seen that, but it's true. It's like I could wake up 5 times in the night and still
Right.
feel rested because I go right back to sleep. And so I have my channel here, Nourishment Redacted. I had a dream that I was reading this large ancient book, and there was all of this information about ancestral eating, and all of the sudden the words started becoming blacked out. They were
Yeah.
being redacted, and I woke up like it was a nightmare. I was like, the nourishment is being redacted. But I was like, and so I decided after watching Carrie from Homestead How, he was like, make a channel, talk about it, remember your pain. And I was like, don't go back to it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. And so I made my channel, and now here I am with you lovely ladies. Thanks for letting me
No, we're
listen to me.
happy to have you here, but exactly what you're saying, the mental health part of it, because I think sometimes like I have to be really careful because like you say, there's nothing wrong with keto at all. It gets to a point where sometimes some of us we need to change things up. And that was very much where I was at. And I think, in this community, we kind of have to be careful. And I do the same thing like you. I always feel like I have to give a disclaimer that nobody has the feeling like I'm bad mouthing keto. I'm definitely not because my husband and our two boys, they're still keto.
You
So
better not.
if there was something wrong with it, they would not continue on with keto. But people have to realize all of it. And that's what Cindy and I try to do because she is very meat heavy with her keto. But
Yes.
then again,
Beautiful.
she classifies herself as keto. And here with me being carnivore, still, yeah, people have to realize straight across the board, it's the proper human diet. We're just doing what is best for us. And there's points in time where Cindy does go completely carnivore.
Yeah.
And even
It's
times
an
she
ebb
does
and flow.
strict carnivore. But the thing is, she's doing what's best for her. She's doing what serves the purpose for her in that given moment. And
Do
people
you
don't
want to know what I
realize
had for
there's
dinner tonight?
nothing.
You
What
know
did you
what
have?
I had? Steak
What did,
and carnivore mac and cheese.
you see? There you go.
I
Because
want
it's
to know what's
still
in that.
proper human diet. I
Two
think,
Crazy
it's
Ketos recipe. It is good.
Okay, I'll
yes,
look it up.
it's difficult because some people they try to put a label on everything, but all in
Mhm.
all, it's the proper human diet, flat
That's
out.
what I say. Like, even if like I feel like there's like the spectrum of um being keto and then all the way to lion diet
Yes.
and everything in between. I feel like paleo is like on the side there. Like paleo can come and play too.
Right.
You know, as long as you're not overdoing with the desserts and stuff like that. You can say the same thing about keto. As long as you're eating whole foods with a heavy
Mhm.
emphasis on fatty meat or fat in general. And then if you want to have some low glycemic berries or some nut if you can tolerate it, or some low carb vegetables, that's beautiful. And
Yeah.
I think that I'm doing carnivore for a year. That's like
Mhm.
I'm giving myself, like, you know, you're gonna stay committed. You're going to alleviate as much as you can, because I do view it as an elimination diet.
Yes.
And I'm going to probably start bringing in more keto foods because I did
Mhm.
well on keto, right? So it's like
Right.
maybe some days I'll be carnivore and some days I'll
Yes.
be keto or ketovore, but that's where I want to get to. I want to be able to eat more variety of foods and still feel my best. Now, if I bring something back in,
Exactly.
that's
Right.
not, doesn't feel good after a while of trying it, because sometimes if
Yes.
you bring back a food that you're not used to eating, like say I bring
Eating,
back
yeah.
spinach or something, it's still gonna hurt me. Like anything's gonna hurt, you
Exactly.
know. You have to, just like a drug, you taper off of a drug. We're
Right.
going to slowly bring back all the foods, like if you do want to bring in. But I think that the proper human diet is what everybody should be on, and that's kind of what I do
Yeah.
with my show Mother Knows Best. It's meat-based kids. Is I invite moms who feed their families keto or carnivore. So I'm going to need you to come on. We're going to have to talk about that because it's really important to share
Yeah.
that message if you
Yeah.
want.
Because I know you heard about the story with our oldest and why, he was the reason why we went keto, and he doesn't feel deprived at all. And I
Mhm.
think that's the main thing, whether it's children, whether it's adults. I think people think because they hear elimination, they think of deprivation. They think, "Oh my gosh, like I'm restricting myself. Oh my gosh, I could never eat this, that, and the other." And it's like, don't focus on that yet. Like, focus on getting yourself well first.
Yeah.
And, that's what people have to realize. Like, experiment first. Like, start somewhere at least. But I think that's the main thing is like people have hesitation because they see what others are doing within the community and they're like, "Oh, I could never do that." But you don't have to be exactly like that person. You have to try something first to see how your body takes to it. And I think that that's the main thing. I think I probably would have started carnivore probably sooner, but for me, everything I was seeing early on was very dogmatic. Very
Yeah, I
dogmatic.
we can talk
And
about that. I have opinions on that.
no, we could definitely get into that because that is really what gave me hesitation because I was like, "Oh, do I really wanna get involved with this?" But then again,
Mhm.
I got to a point where, like you said, my depression, anxiety, my mental health was not good. Like, I was at my lowest of low, and just like you said, like, it's like you feel like you're not living. And when you get to your lowest of low like that, you are willing to just do anything you can to get out of that mental space. So I think that's when I got to that breaking point of trying carnivore, but because of the content that was out there, I was very hesitant. So that's why I appreciate, having ones like you in the community and then having Cindy in this community. We're showing the side of things where you don't have to be dogmatic with it. Like you have the flexibility to do what works best for you, what works best for your body.
Yeah, I can't handle that diehard, the diehard carnivores that cannot even see the other side of the proper human diet or the ketogenic way of eating, because it's all of that. No matter which spectrum you're on, it's all that. Even if you're low carb, it's still the ketogenic way. And everybody's different.
Exactly.
Everybody reacts differently. Everyone has to do and find what works best for them. And I'm going to tell you this next month, there's a question up there, and I'll answer when it comes up.
Mhm.
But, challenging yourself all the time, whether you want to use the word challenge or whatever, it's so important because you got to keep your body guessing too, or you're going to be at that stall and you're going to be
Right.
frustrated and it's going to make you crazy, whether it's the scale or whatever it is. It's going to make you crazy. So you got to
Yeah.
keep it guessing because
And congratulations to Susan here because she did exactly what you're saying, Cindy. She did keto five
I'm so
years.
sorry.
She lost a lot of weight over the years, and then she went to carnivore 6 months ago and she lost 20 more pounds. So you are doing exactly what Cindy's speaking on behalf of. You switch things up, and
Yes.
it's
Sorry
very
about
much
that guy
working for
here.
you switching things up.
That's
Sorry.
fantastic.
It's all right, Cindy.
Yeah, you're good. Hey, Renee.
Welcome, Renee. So nice to have you here. Like Mike saying, let's
Oh,
make the proper human diet the popular human diet. Absolutely. Wholeheartedly agree with that. What were you about to
Mike.
say, Ellie?
I was going to talk about, I can understand if somebody who is outside of the keto carnivore space, or you're even in the keto space, and you
Yeah.
see some of the front runners of the carnivore lifestyle, or even just the idea of only eating meat, it sounds weird. Like,
Hmm.
it just sounds weird. And you're like, what do you mean? Because as you learn when you start keto, it's like, oh, saturated fat isn't bad for you. Okay. Cholesterol isn't bad for you. Oh, and then you start
Yes.
learning that some vegetables, for some people, they might actually be like anti-nutrients,
Hmm.
and they might be blocking some nutrients. Doesn't mean they don't have any. I just want to say that right now. And I'm not like a scientist or a doctor. I'm just a regular person who's done her own
Exactly.
research and sharing my story. I don't pretend to be someone who knows things, but there's a little bit. So it's like that you continue to learn. And I felt like I was a little dogmatic in the beginning. I'm being honest. I felt like I was in that mindset. I became like tunnel vision, like only meat, salt, water, butter, like that's it, nothing else. And then
Right.
as time went on and I met more people and I started talking to them and I started hearing all of the beautiful stories, the transformations, the highs and the lows, and I started becoming more comfortable where I am, I realized that I did well in keto as well, you
Mm.
know? And so why all of a sudden would keto be bad for me? I think we're all
Right.
brothers and sisters.
Absolutely.
And it's like it kind of, I feel like I have to admit that I was one of those people at first, but I'm so glad to be on the other side
Yes.
and to be able to one, admit that, and then two, to be able to share that. Like maybe some people who subscribed to my channel, they didn't like that I said I'm doing this for a year, and
Hmm.
maybe they're like, no, you have to only do it, meat, salt, water forever. And it's like, I have a life to live. I want
Exactly.
to maintain my health, but I think that's part of like actually having food freedom is being
Yes.
able to say no to the cake and the cookies. I mean, you can have it if you can truly moderate. I don't think I'm there yet at all. Like there
Exactly
around
right.
around Christmas, there was stuff in my house. My husband bought some. I know, my husband bought cookies for the kids. Oh no, no, it's fine. See, that was me being dogmatic. So it's like, no, no cookies in the house. It was Christmas. They had a cookie. It's fine. Do they eat that way every day? Absolutely not. But it's just, I feel like I've come a long way with my mindset about the whole thing, and I'm
Yes.
so and yeah, that's it. I think that's it.
Yeah. And I
That's just my
completely
opinion.
agree because even during like this Christmas time, oh my gosh, have I been eating all the cheeses? I have been eating like all the
Mm.
cheeses because I'm a savory type of eater. And I have to remind myself, like, why am I feeling guilty about it? I have lost over 145 pounds. That is like literally, even like my two children combined, like my 15-year-old and our almost 7-year-old, I have lost more than the two of them weigh combined. So, like, why am I feeling guilty over some cheese? You know, things will happen during the holidays, and people just have to realize, like, as long as you don't forget about your mindset, as long as you don't forget about your whys of why you started to be on any spectrum of the proper human diet, don't beat yourself up about it. Like, it's going to be worse adding that stress and that guilt in than that little bit of a off plan or slip up, as some people want to call in the community.
Mhm.
Don't worry about it. Things happen. Life is not perfect. If it was, we would have been eating this way all along.
Right.
It's
Very
gonna
good
be
point.
very much it is what it is. You just continue on and you just try to do better day by day. But see, Susie's leading us into this focus here. Do you have any goals you're planning to focus on in 2024, health related or other?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like I mentioned, I want to make it to May. That's going to be my 1 year on carnivore, and then I'll reevaluate how I want to go about it. You guys will be able to come with me on that journey. Um, but in terms of my mental health, there's this one thing, there's two things left that I have
Mhm.
to, like the demons I have to conquer or vanquish or whatever. And one of them is I did make a video about this, so if you want more information about it, it's called Being a Doormat. And my whole life, I was a
Mhm.
doormat. If anything, I was the door underneath the doormat. Like I was a groveling kind of person. I catered to everybody's needs and I put myself last constantly. And I feel like I'm finally at that point where I put myself first, my family, obviously my family first, but it's like, we're all like structured and we're good to go. And I feel more confident about it. But there's something that I'm still doing that's from my old depression days, and
Mm.
that is escaping to
Okay.
technology. So, like, if
Mhm.
things are too, like, instead of going into food, I'm still, which I used to do, food and technology. I did both. So I took care of the food part. Now I have to take
Yeah.
care of the technology part. Like, just constantly being on my phone, like doing YouTube stuff or watching a video, or instead of being present with my kids sometimes. And I feel like I find myself needing to escape, and it's like, and I hate admitting that, and I don't think that's good, but I think it's normal. I think a lot of parents feel like, especially when you're a stay-at-home mom, or if you're
Right.
it doesn't matter if you're working or stay at home, but stay-at-home mom, you have more saturation of children, and you're always around them, and it's wonderful. But then sometimes you just need that break. I need to take this and
Mm.
make it a book, or I
Yes.
need to make it like my Bible, or I need to write, or I need to just be with my kids instead,
Right.
like I need to replace that old crutch. And that's something I'm being very mindful about. And I really want to kick it to the curb, man,
Mm.
because it's no longer welcome, because it's not good.
But you know what, though? You also need to show yourself grace in that because even though you're saying that it's hard to speak it out loud, so to speak, you noticed it. You noticed it. You are taking accountability for it. You are trying to work through a way to work on doing better at that. So, very much so, like, I am kinda looking at it from, like, the backseat point of view that you have a lot to feel good about yourself in that, because it's kinda like we're not in a position anymore where we have, like, the blinders on, that we're not noticing what we're doing. So, I think you should be applauding yourself because that's huge that you acknowledge that and you notice that about yourself. And that's very much something like I've had to do as well as to kind of find the balance because it's very easy to get tied up in the technology part of things, um, especially when it comes to this community. You enjoy the company of everybody, everybody is nice, everybody is inspiring, motivating. So I think that also becomes difficult too because who else understands what we're going through than others within this space? So I think it's difficult because it's definitely, we have to kind of try to find a balance. And that's also what I'm trying to work on as well. That's why I haven't really put any content out there because I'm also trying to find a balance myself where I can still, please that part of me of engaging with the community through my content. But then again, like you're saying, to have my personal life with my family also as like a priority. So I totally, totally get it. You are not alone in that at all.
Oh,
Because that's something Cindy and I we also speak about because even she has a perspective that she's in retirement. But then again, still she doesn't want to just be on social media all the time. She deserved her retirement. So she wants to also be out there living her best life. She doesn't want to be on here all the time either. So,
Bowling and bowling and bowling.
you see, because that's what we ultimately have earned. And I think that's, what a lot of people forget is being on this way of eating, we're feeling our very best. For the first time, for a lot of us, we're feeling the very best that we've ever felt for a very long time.
if ever, right?
So that should mean, like, if we're feeling our best, why not be out there living our best life? Like, we should not be meant to be on these screens or behind a camera all the time. Like, go out there, live your best life. So I think that's what I'm trying to do. I'm really trying to find like the balance with it all. Keto is a big 10 and I support what works for each of us. Absolutely. That's very much how it should be looked at. We are a community. Thank you so much, Dustin. So this is Dustin Keto Simple.
Thank you,
Thank you so much.
Dustin.
We appreciate that. But very much like you said, that we're all on the same side. And I think that's very much the feeling I get sometimes is that it's almost as if one way is the perfect way, or one side of it is doing it the right way. And it's almost like with that kind of mentality that is put around the community, it's kind of giving people the feeling like we're enemies amongst each other. And we're not. We're just doing what works best for us. So I like the way you put that, that we are definitely all on the same side. And as it was mentioned, keto is a big tent. And that's very much what it is. Here, Brenda is saying, I'm lucky Dr. Barry said I could eat hot dogs and get healthy. I searched eating for diabetes. Doctor tried to put me on insulin. And that's very much Mike earlier above. He quoted Dr. Barry's book, Lies My Doctor Told Me. And it, like Cindy said, it's an amazing book. So if anyone has not read it yet, it's very good. It's very, very good. Because it very much, gives you that insight of the experiences like we all have with our doctors. Even finding any form of the proper human diet and telling our doctors about it, even with the progress, the amazing progress that we have, they still want to object to it. No matter how much of a bill of health your blood work is looking, if you're having scale victories, non-scale victories, still yet some of their mentality, it's not there yet, because they just don't know enough about it.
Hmm.
And some of them, they don't really have the time to research, and some of them don't want to research. It's kind of like they get in this robot mode of how they're going to treat their patients, and that's that.
Yeah, I was talking to my husband about it, and unfortunately, it's just how the system it's built upon. Doctors, they
Yes.
have a lot of, yeah, even without fiber killed me, man. Like I was, oh man. I feel like, oh, Christy, hi, this is
Welcome, Christy. Happy
my
Friday.
girl. Happy Friday. Yeah, I really wanted to say I appreciate what you were saying about giving me grace. I think that naturally I'm someone who put myself down very harshly.
Mm.
I don't know where that comes from, but it just comes from a negative mindset, not loving myself and all that stuff. Um, I like that. Meet yourself. That's awesome. So I just wanted to say thank you for saying that.
I'll tell you, no one, excuse me, no one should beat themselves up. And nobody's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody does things they shouldn't do. Everybody eats something they shouldn't eat. That's how you
Absolutely.
find out what's going to work. When you eat something that you don't feel right after, you know it's not working for you.
Mm,
The
Yeah.
only way to find that out is by trying different things. But as far as possibly going off plan,
yeah.
we all do it sometimes.
Mhm.
If you don't, it's like hooray for you. That's awesome. But
Yeah.
like Christmas time, this one team I bowl on Tuesday nights, they had a Christmas party. And my teammates, we all exchanged gifts. And I've made it very clear that I'm keto. I don't eat any sugar and all this stuff most of the time. Well, the one girl gave me a box of Whitman's chocolates. That's what she got for everybody. Another one gave me some pretzels dipped in white chocolate. And I'm like, now I am the world's worst chocoholic. Thank
Mhm. Just gave
goodness
you
for
dry.
Chalk Zero. But these have been, I should have re-gifted them, but I did not. I have them put aside so I don't look at them every day. But whew, that's some bad stuff. I think that's the only thing that would draw me in is chocolate.
Yeah.
I don't really
Hmm.
care about anything else.
Sometimes,
Potatoes I could care too bit about. Rice, bread I
Hmm.
make my own, so I'm good. But
But
that's
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 something
the
you
only
know
thing.
about yourself is the thing too,
mm,
is you're a sweet type of person. She
Oh
has said
my
she has a sweet
goodness.
tooth. For me, I don't care for the sweets. So anyone can give me like anything. But savory food, like I've said before, like if my
yeah.
grandmother was still alive and I had like her fresh baked goods that she made, I would be in big trouble still. But for me, the sweets, they don't phase me. But Cindy, I totally get what you're saying because you've identified that about yourself that you have a sweet tooth,
That's why I thank goodness for the Chalk Zero keto
yeah,
chow, because I mean those are saving graces for me.
right?
There was a question a while back that we have not touched on.
I think I have it starred, but I just want to touch
657.
on yes, I have it. I have it starred here. I
Okay.
just want to touch on Michael's because Michael feels he's in the wrong place. I'm just here for support. I need to gain 30 pounds. You're not in the wrong place. So I think that's what we have to realize too. I feel like some feel like because someone's journey is different than yours, their goals might be different. That is okay because we are all at a different point in our journey. We're going to have different goals, and that's what the beauty of this is you find what best works for you. Somebody that might want to have more fat loss, they might have to keep up with the fatty meat that they're eating. Somebody that wants to put on pounds or define, their body and sculpt their body, they might want to do a little bit more protein. We're all having to customize what we're doing for what our goals are, and that is very much okay. It does not necessarily mean that we can't all be on the proper human diet, whether it's keto or carnivore. You are just going to do whatever way of eating or portion of eating that is accustomed to you. What do you have to say about that, Ellie?
I think that this community is loving with open arms
Mm,
and that you are in the right spot because you are aware about the dangers of processed foods. You know that sugar is leads to diabetes. You know all of this information now about the
right.
importance of eating clean, healthy diet. And not everybody's here to lose weight. I think that a lot of them, and Americans especially, a lot of us are obese. That's just how, unfortunately that is how it is. But there's plenty of people in my family, and I can understand and have empathy towards having difficulty gaining weight. That can be
Mm,
incredibly difficult if you have a very high metabolism and you struggle with that. I have family members, they're not in keto or carnivore, but I've seen the struggle with it. And they are underweight and they have difficulty keeping it on. So keep stay with us, and I'm sure that you're going to find somebody who is going to have something very similar to you, or maybe you'll find many people with one type of symptom. Maybe you have chronic headaches, and then you find one YouTuber that has found relief from that, and then you'll find
mm.
someone else who needs to gain weight, and you'll so it's just like this chain of people that they're all linked together, and it's really nice. So you're in the right spot.
No, absolutely. We have Whitney's question here. Do any of you deal with sugar pushers? My mother-in-law is always trying to give us something, especially fruit and candy. She's not trying to be mean, but she still tries all the time.
I have something to say, if I may. Um, think about don't try to think about what she's giving you. Think about the act of giving. It
Mm,
seems like your mother-in-law's love language is gift giving or gift receiving, like the act um of giving. And unless I hope that she's not making you like eat it in front of her. Like sometimes, we can just graciously accept the gift
mhm.
and try to move on. Um, but just keep in mind that she loves you. She's just trying to show
Exactly.
love the best as she can.
Mhm.
Um, Yeah, and if you truly feel like you've talked to her enough and she's still not clicking, there's no reason to have, like any kind of fight or disagreement about it. Just accept, be
Right.
thankful, and then just try to, move on with it. Does that make sense at all?
Yes, and I wholeheartedly agree with that. And Whitney, with you saying also that you already know she's not trying to be mean.
Yeah.
But I think it's the fact that because she still tries all the time, I could definitely see how that part of it could be frustrating. Especially for someone, if that's a temptation for you and for you to be accepting, I could see how that could also be difficult because you don't probably want it around if it's going to be tempting to
Yeah.
you. I
Mhm.
would just try talking to her, try just being open with her and just tell her, I want you to understand, like, I appreciate this gift. I really do. But, I'm not going to be eating it. Like, if I take it from you, I'm going to probably regift it. And I don't really want to do that to a gift you give me. And just try talking. Um, I mean, the worst that could happen is like she just doesn't understand. Um, but just try. You never know. It doesn't hurt to try, as people always say. Um, but no, I wholeheartedly agree with Ellie. Sometimes that's very much what it is. That's just somebody's love language is she basically sees that that's possibly something you might enjoy. Um, but to just be truthful and honest with her that, no, like this is not something that I'm going to enjoy. This is something that's going to be hurtful to me. It's going to be hurtful to my plan of eating currently. Um, and just try to come at it with a type of approach where hopefully she doesn't feel hurt or offended. But sometimes that's all it takes is just talk. I
Yeah,
think that's kind
just
of
share
the
your
fear we
heart.
have. Yes, I think that's the fear we have because we're so afraid of being judged. We're so afraid of people not understanding what we're doing with our choice of our way of eating. But we also have to realize we have to be selfish sometimes. We have to be selfish
Mhm.
sometimes. Sometimes it's not about being a people pleaser. You got to do what's best for you because if you are not in the right space mentally, with your health, with the way your body's feeling, who can you be or what use can you be to anybody in your circle, whether it be family, friends? So it's difficult because we want to, be respectful of friends and family when it comes to their feelings. But what about you? You can't forget about how you feel. So I would just say try to talk it out and take it from there and kind of see what happens. Here, Lynn, I have found many great new channels through Cindy and Sana. Thanks, girls. We've
Thank
had
you,
an
Lynn.
absolute blast because these are channels that we follow ourselves and they just inspire us so much. We are just completely in awe of everyone's story and journey that they have shared. So it's an absolute pleasure to have you on, Ellie. And for those that
Thank
don't
you.
know of you yet, it's so nice to be able to introduce you to them because you have an amazing journey. So it's great for everyone.
Oh, so much love. Thank you.
It's great for everyone to know because I think that's important too. Just as you said, someone's going to find a commonality with somebody that is doing this way of eating. So just like Michael had said that he felt he was in the wrong place, no, because we are all doing the same thing, even though the goals might be different. But then again, you might just kind of being within this community, you might find that you following a channel and they're featuring another channel that guess what? You have a lot in common with. And you didn't even realize anything about the other channel, but because you follow this channel that might have just little bits here and there in common with you, guess what? They led you to somebody that now you're like, wow, like this person, I really need to follow them because I have so much in common with them. I feel like I can really connect with that person. But that's what it is about being part of this community and featuring other channels out there, featuring other journeys out there because we all are going to find like you said that connection, that commonality with somebody.
Well
Oh,
said.
so here Mike also was given a gift of some sweets, so homemade peanut butter chocolate balls. I regifted them.
Oh my God. Those are
And
so
that right
good.
there, the peanut butter and the chocolate, yeah, you
It's a good
definitely spoke
combination.
you spoke Cindy's language right.
Cindy's love language is
Mike,
chocolate.
you could have
Yes.
regifted them to me. I
No, no,
definitely
no.
can moderate this stuff.
No, no, no. You have your keto chow that you can mix up of
Oh,
the peanut butter and the chocolate.
yes. And I'm going to tell you, I made a shake the other day that I drank yesterday. Holy mackerel, was it good? Birthday cake keto chow with chocolate collagen. I've done that before and it made it like a very faint chocolate birthday cake flavor.
Yeah.
This time I added black cocoa powder with a little allulose, and it was like an Oreo birthday cake. Oh my word, it was good.
Wow.
Holy
Ellie and
cow.
anyone else on the chat, I don't know if you all have seen Cindy's keto chow stash,
Holy, I got way too much.
but I
But I'm
joke
also
with
an
her and I
affiliate.
tease her. Yes, I joke and tease with her because she's an affiliate now, but I always used to joke with her even before she became an affiliate. I said you needed to be like an ambassador for the stash that she has.
So much. But
It's impressive.
that has really helped me through this whole thing. I've been
Yeah.
buying keto chow since I started keto and started learning about it.
Mm.
And, for somebody that likes chocolate and likes the sweets and can do it in a healthy way, that's like, oh gosh, yes.
So keep a lookout. I
I
don't know if you
didn't get
saw
it
that.
yet, Michael. I just checked. That's
So
right,
here's
Mike.
Susie sharing. I was underweight on keto and gained healthy weight on carnivore. So you see, that's the other side of it.
Now
Just my
I gotta
experience.
say, Michael's Adventures. I saw him on Just Jason Keto's live yesterday.
Okay.
He has been trying to get me watch hours. So that's why he's here. He's not part of the keto community. He's, that's why he's in here.
That's so
But this
sweet.
is nice though
Yes.
for him to see
Watch
the other
hours are tough.
perspective of it because he
Yeah,
does
they
want to
are.
gain weight. So having someone speak from experience like Susie is, and
Yeah,
she's basically speaking just like I said that, she did eat a lot more of both protein and fat plus lifted weights and that's what it takes. So look, right
right.
there, Michael, we already have somebody in the chat that,
That
you
was
can
quick.
relate with that she gained.
Can
Exactly. You
help
see,
you
so there
gain some
is
weight.
exactly. So there is definitely connections to be made out there, even
There's
in the
some
chat.
more to lose that you can have, Michael.
Oh, so here Brenda's telling you, Cindy, I know how you feel, Cindy. Grandkids gave me a caramel chocolate bar. I didn't eat it, but hubby did. He sure didn't need it, complaining he feels drowsy. And that's just it right there. Like Cindy said, that some have to keep on playing, and that's very much me. I have to me, I have to stay on plan. I cannot
Mhm.
do any slip ups. I cannot do anything off plan.
Yeah, we don't want
Um,
you sick like you were back in May. So that ain't
and
no.
that was not even related to anything. Like I still was carnivore,
Yeah.
but carnivore led to me finding out that I had something wrong. Um, so everyone could watch that video because I don't want to take any of Ellie's time going into that, but that's just very much it. We have to remember why we're doing this. And I think that's really what keeps me on plan. It's not about perfection. It's that I don't want to feel sick. So just like Brenna saying
Mhm.
that, her husband ended up feeling drowsy and who knows how long that might linger for. Hopefully it doesn't linger for too long and hopefully by now
Yeah.
he's over it. But that's very much
Yeah, my
my
husband
fear.
my husband had some treats for Christmas and stuff like that. He didn't eat on plan, and that's okay.
Yeah,
It was fine. That's it. there's
exactly.
there's no beating up. Like,
No.
it's really funny talking about like the parents that push things. So she was saying her mother-in-law.
Mm.
My mother-in-law gave us a panettone bread, the beautiful little box. It's like a
Yes.
Christmas bread. She gave me the panettone, and we just said no, thank you. That was just we're just like, I'm sorry, we can't eat this. And she's like, oh, okay, I'll keep it, and then it was fine. Like, food is culture. It's difficult. Yeah,
Yeah.
it can be quite difficult. But I think, like we've touched on today, you just have to stay firm in what you're doing and be the guiding light, be the role model. Don't cram carnivore and keto
Mm.
down people's throats, but just show how
Yes.
you've changed by your
Mhm.
actions and having gratitude for as many things as you can, because
Exactly.
there's so many beautiful things in this world that I never noticed before, unfortunately, until now.
Mm.
And I think what keeps me, and we were kind of touching on being perfect and staying, like, I'm really
Yeah.
proud of myself that I've not gone off plan so far. It's been about 8 months, and I'm really, really happy about that. But I've come close, very
Yeah.
come close, because it was in my home or something like that. And what helps me is that I have someone to rely on. I have my husband. And he was like, "Don't you even dare! Don't even look at it! Get out of here! I'm gonna kick your butt!" And I'm like, "You're right. You're right. I'm gonna go. Goodbye." And I just like walk out of the room. And I think having that accountability partner can be really helpful too if you do struggle with moderation, and like binging and stuff like that.
That's
Oh,
just
neat.
it. So
I
I'm
love the
trying to
whole.
find here because I want to try to word it. So even with Nia saying here that Aaron Edwards, she is thinking his name is, he went from plant-based to carnivore. And now he's had a healthy place. And I think that is so important. And kind of just seeing that, it reminds me of what Dr. Barry said not too long ago. He had just said this month when vegans belittle carnivores, it isn't helpful. When
Mhm.
carnivores belittle vegans, it isn't helpful. We are all
Yeah.
rediscovering a proper human diet together. We all start from different places with our own preconceived notions. What is a PhD? This is a very important question, and we should all approach it respectfully as inquisitive adults who only want best for all humanity. And that's very much it. And there are a lot that went just like this Aaron Edwards from plant-based to carnivore. And that is very much like from basically like one planet to the next.
Yeah. But
Is
if you
very
think
much what
about
it
it,
is.
we're actually more similar than we are different because with the reason why people start feeling better on a plant-based diet is because they're removing all of the processed junk, the fast food, the
Mhm.
dyes,
Yes.
the and they're eating more whole natural foods, but then that it can only go for so long because and you'll need to start supplementing because there are so many essential minerals and vitamins that is in meat. So I feel like if you're gonna go plant-based, try it as an elimination diet and then bring back in the meat because we need it. There's we need it. Hi. I love seeing all the comments. It's so fun. Yay, so
Yes,
many
no,
people
I'm
here
I'm
tonight.
trying to get through to kind of catch up here, but Cindy got me into keto chow. So you are to
Uh-oh.
blame, Cindy. She lost 100 pounds with this stuff. So yeah, you see? And it's
It's
exactly
awesome.
exactly what she says to people that look, I have been able to lose this. I'm maintaining it. So who's to tell her otherwise? And
That's
I
right.
wholeheartedly support her. That's why, she questioned with me because originally I wanted to do these Friday night lives solo on my own. And then Cindy and I got to chatting. And when we kind of were in the talks of doing it together, she had asked me, she was like, well, are you sure? Because she's like, I'm keto. I said, so? I said, "What does that matter?" And she said, "Well," she's like, I don't want anyone to feel any different because you probably have more carnivore people following you." I said, "Listen, I fully support what you're doing. It's very much what my husband and my kids are doing with keto. That is okay." I said that if anyone gives you any problems, I will fully support you and back you up because it's very much the mentality people have, exactly like Mike's saying. So yeah,
We don't fear food here.
You
We're
know
not
absolutely.
what? I am tough. I can handle anything comes my way.
Yeah.
yeah.
Bring it on.
Yeah, because even Susie, look, Susie's even saying keto chow has
Yeah.
really helped my husband, especially when he had no appetite back in the late summer. And that's the thing. Like that's what people have to realize. When it comes to keto chow, the owners, Chris and Miriam Bear, they really take pride in their product. They really take pride in the ingredients. That's what people have to realize. We are not just talking about just any product that just simply has a keto name or label on it. No, like they are the real deal when it comes to a keto product. So that's the thing. Everybody has to do what works best for them, is the bottom line of it. I do, but the weight stall is real. Not ready to blame keto chow just yet. And that's the thing. Experiment with it. Um, See how much of it you are possibly having on the daily and see if there's probably a issue in how much of it you're possibly having because we also need to remember when it comes to keto chow, it's meal replacement. And that's why very much so, like you'll even hear Cindy say, I had keto chow ice cream for dinner because that was her meal. She just chose to have it in the form of ice cream. But we have to realize it is very much a meal replacement when it comes to keto chow. So kind of just see if you're having a full-on meal plus having keto chow as meal. It might be like too much of a good thing, as people say. So I would experiment with it and see. Try losing muscle weight. Oh gosh. So Ellie, what are your plans when it comes to, are you doing anything? Because I see a lot of mention in the community when it comes to physical activity in the new year. What
Am
is
I
your
doing?
plans when it comes to any
She's
physical
got
activity
two
for New Year?
toddlers she's taking care of.
Yeah.
That's physical
I
enough.
I could definitely understand that.
The
Hey,
30
'Cause
pound, then a 30 pound and a 20 pound. Oh no. I do want to become more physical. So as a family, we decided to invest in getting a membership with the YMCA, and we've
okay.
been going. And so my because of that, and I feel like I'm in the house too much. Like we only have one car, so when my
Mm,
husband takes, it's like I'm home with the kids. That might also be why I'm like wanting to be on the phone. Like I need to just get out more. So I want to do more walks because I always forget to mention this, but at the beginning of my carnivore journey, I dislocated my knee. Oh, I love this comment, Christy.
mm,
You're right. Absolutely.
yes.
I dislocated my knee, and I'm doing much better now several months, months later, but I feel like my knee is very weak, and I'm not quite
Mhm.
sure how to go about building up that muscle again because I
Mm.
can dislocate it again. I actually was supposed to get surgery. I chose not, it's elective surgery, but I chose not to because I wouldn't be able to use my leg for 5 months. And
Oh, wow.
my babies need me.
Oof,
They
yeah.
they need me. So I'll get it when they're like 10 or something. I don't know. But I do want to make sure that I'm getting out on walks more because I've not been able to do that until recently. I just have to make sure I have my good brace on, go on walks with the kids outside. And when we go to the YMCA, when my husband and my daughter are doing judo, my son is at the play area, I can go and do some light workouts. Um, I definitely want to continue to sculpt my body and see what happens because I've never been like this small before and it's like really exciting.
if you're going to the Y, you should take advantage of the pool. That's the best exercise for your
Yeah,
knee.
Yes, and
that's
that's the
great.
thing. I know Cindy had mentioned, like, you do have the 2 little ones, and I was very much doing that also because I work full time. I work from home, but then I have our 2 kids that I homeschool. So I'm always with them.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what was difficult for me is because I kind of felt like, oh, well, I'm active with my kids and that's good enough. But the thing is, I was not doing what was best for me, which would have been to have dedicated me time when it came
Mhm.
to physical activity. And not to make it about the kids, to make it about me, to kind of just have
Mm.
that time like with myself. And that's very much what you can do also, like when you go to the YMCA, is to kind of have that focus on yourself and
It's
not
so
to feel
nice.
like you're doing like the hustle and bustle of everyday like mommy stuff. It's gonna be
Yeah.
very much different.
If so, we are trying to make sure we're going twice a week.
Mm,
And if my boy can tolerate being in the play area because he's only 1.5, he might miss me, but it's like if he can tolerate it and he's
right.
good and having fun, then mommy can go work out or even
Yeah.
just sit in the corner and read or watch my daughter do judo with my husband. Like it's really nice. I like this part of my life now where I'm like
Mhm,
it's not just me anymore and I get to watch
right.
my kids grow and experience in these social activities and stuff like that. We go to church every Sunday, and so the kids get to play with other kids there too.
Mhm,
I'm planning on homeschooling my kids when they come of age. I guess technically I am homeschooling them, but when they become like kindergarten and on, that's a plan for me too. So I'm looking forward to all of those memories of those places.
mhm. That's gonna be definitely exciting. We have Susan here. There are carnivores who are working on getting better health and gaining weight and muscle. I think Mike Prawl or something like that. Yes, his name, I believe it's like Mike Primal is the way it's said. If I'm not mistaken, is the way
No,
his handle name is said.
I'm gonna find it for you guys.
Yeah, because I also follow him as well. But I know the spelling is very unique for his handle name. So we'll find it for you. but he's very much he's on that journey of gaining weight and muscle. Oh, so Whitney's
Yeah,
just
I can't
adding
find it.
about her mother-in-law. She doesn't make us eat it. You're spot on, Ellie. That's her love language. It's just hard because I hate turning her down all the time. I don't want to hurt her feelings. And that's very much it. It's difficult because we don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, of course, especially when it comes to family.
Yeah,
But
Susie's got it up there.
oh, perfect. Thank you so much.
Yay.
P raw IMO.
I knew raw was in it. Yeah.
Yes, it's just a unique spelling.
That's cool.
Oh, so Michelle's adding here, my husband and I told our family no chocolates this year, and we didn't get them, which is good. We got meat. And that's the thing. Sometimes just, let them know. Um, because that's just it. Like some just they don't really understand. And then they think during the holiday time we're making exceptions because it's a holiday. So they might be thinking you're not going to be strict over the holiday when possibly your plan is to stay on plan. So try to be open. But I know it's difficult, just like Whitney said, you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings either. And here, Ellie is just saying that
That's
she just
me.
wanted to say hello to everyone and thank you all for coming and supporting the three of us. That she's been quiet in the comments, but that's definitely understandable. And here
That's
you're
me.
adding, you are all the best. I feel so much love from all of you. No,
Hello.
we're so happy that you're definitely feeling the love. And Cindy has consistently been putting your link in the chat. So for anyone that has not subbed already to Ellie, definitely go ahead and show her some love in the form of a sub. We will absolutely appreciate it, and I know she will as well. And here, Cindy went ahead and added the handle here.
Thank you so much. This has been really fun. I've been looking forward to it. We scheduled this quite a bit ago, so it feels good that we finally
Yes,
got together.
I'm so happy to have you on, and you truly, I love when you watch a channel and you just feel wholeheartedly that the person is just very genuine, and that's very much the vibe that I get from you, and that's the channels and the people within the community that I personally like to gravitate towards, because you're not dogmatic. You are genuine, and your goals are very much genuine. So I wholeheartedly just appreciate that you were able to share your journey and share that perspective with those within the community because, a lot of people just they really need to hear that perspective when it comes to someone on this way of eating. So I know we've been kind of going at this for over an hour now, and we definitely want to be respectful of your time because, after all, it is a Friday night, and we definitely want to respect your time and respect everyone's time in the chat as well. Uh, Here we have Carnivore Cheer. Just subscribe to Ellie's channel.
Yay.
Thank you so much. Susan saying, I really need to join the Y again. I should call them and see if they have scholarships for senior citizens like me. Yes. Cindy, didn't you also mention something about silver sneakers for
Yeah,
gyms?
at the gyms, they have some of the gyms do silver sneakers programs through your, like if you have Medicare, like I do,
Okay.
you get into the gym for free.
I'll be.
So
So,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. I do have to. Something just came up. I think my kids are home. I'm so sorry. I think I have to
Oh,
hop
no, it's
off.
okay. It's all right.
I really had a wonderful time, and I'm so thankful that you invited me on. And I hope we can do this again soon.
Yes, thank you so much for
thank
coming
you so
on, and
much, Ellie.
everyone, thank you so much for being here. We definitely know you can do anything with your Friday night, but the fact that you came on and spent some time with us, we truly, truly appreciate it. But thank you again, Ellie, for coming on. Everyone, enjoy the weekend. Happy New Year to everybody. Happy New Year, Ellie.
Yeah.
Happy
Happy
New
New
Year,
Bye,
Year.
Cindy.
everybody.
Bye,
Happy New
everyone.
Year.
Take care.
Bye.